This video may be shocking to some of you, and for those of you who weren't around back then, back in 2016 and 2017, I made one video compiling 10 abandoned websites that have been, well, abandoned since the 90s, and then I made another video compiling 10 websites that have been abandoned since the 2000s, and then I kind of just fell off the mark. I guess you could say those series of videos were abandoned, but hopefully I'm back on the grind now. Hopefully, I won't abandon this series again for another 2+ years. But, anyways, abandoned websites are still very much an interest of mine. I still like going on websites, compiling a bunch of abandoned websites for people to visit, and also there's subreddits dedicated to this as well that I like to visit on a somewhat regular basis because I still like looking at these really old websites that are, for some reason, still in existence. And I'm not the only one who has this same interest because those videos of mine have since reached over 3,000 views, which is a total shock to me. I thought absolutely no one would care about those videos outside of, well, myself. But hey, those videos ended up becoming hits, or at least hits for my channel, so that's really, really cool. So I want to do more of these, hopefully, hopefully on a somewhat regular basis. Again, for all I know, I might abandon this for another 2+ years, but hopefully I won't do that. So, anyways, here are 10 more websites that have been abandoned since the 90s, and I do want to quickly get this out of the way for those of you who haven't seen the other two videos and don't know. These are not in any particular order. They're not from newest to oldest or oldest to newest. No, no kind of order whatsoever. These are just in random order. So yeah, do keep that in mind. This isn't a countdown or anything. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's officially begin, shall we? Number 10, Nine Inch Nails fan website. I'll admit, I'm not the biggest Nine Inch Nails fan. I can never really get into their music, if you could even call them a band. I think Trent Reznor is the only constant member of that band, to my knowledge. I don't know. I barely know anything about Nine Inch Nails, okay? But I will say this. This website is really, really cool for a website that has been abandoned for 20+ years now. It looks cool, okay? I like the colors. There's some cool GIFs too if you go on the website and scroll through it. And on the homepage, there's a bunch of links that are unfortunately dead now. I've looked at every single link that the website provides, and most of them you can't even access anymore, which is unfortunate. I really do wish that I knew what those links led to. And some of them seem kind of fun. Like one of them said Nine Inch Nails trivia game, and I wanted to see how badly I would bomb at that. But I clicked on the link and it gave me a 404 message, and it basically told me that that page was long gone at this point. So unfortunately, you can't really do much on this website anymore, but at the very least, it's still cool to gawk at because the website is really cool looking for a website that has been abandoned since 1997. Number 9, Toyota City Imaging Project. Basically, this website serves as an archive of sorts, I guess, of really old advertisements and concept images of really old Toyota cars. And when I say really old, I mean really old. I'm talking like 1910s old. It's fun to look at for a bit and think about how much cars have evolved since those times, and how much we as a species have advanced in these past 100 or so years. Well, 80 something years, if we're talking about the time this website was made. But, anyways, it really does put things into perspective, alright? It really does get you thinking. It has over 500 plus of these images, so if you really want to waste an afternoon looking at really old car advertisements and drawings, then be my guest. This website has been abandoned since 1996. Number 8, Astrology, Psychology, Mythology. This website is a weird website, almost cult-like, and it aims to teach you about astrology and tell you about how astrology has supposedly been mischaracterized by many people. Yeah, I'm not a believer in astrology whatsoever, but I'm not going to get into any of that because this is supposed to be a non-controversial video. But anyways, I still took a look at this website, read through some of the pages, and read through this person, whoever made this website's lunacy. They seem to have a weird affinity for the Spice Girls as well. That got a chuckle out of me. Overall, it's an entertaining website, and if you want to laugh at some really weird person's website, well, this is the perfect website for you. This website has been abandoned since July 1997. Number 7. Tokyo Toilet Map. I'll let the description at the top of the webpage speak for itself. In Japan, toilet paper is not available at the majority of restrooms in train or metro stations. I have no clue if that's still the case today, and if so, Damn. Many of these restrooms are dirty and smell awful. This webpage contains photographs of the toilets at these stations and other locations throughout Tokyo. Have a good toilet time. Yes, pretty much this website just shows you a bunch of photographs of dirty toilets at dirty train stations in Tokyo. Isn't that lovely? It even has a section for clean toilets in Tokyo, a section for dirty toilets in Tokyo. It also has graffiti, Tokyo map, and there's even this thing right at the bottom of the picture that's at the top of the website that says, I made how to use a Japanese style toilet bowl anew. I tried to download it, but then my Mac warned me that it could put my computer at risk if I do download it, so I'm not risking my computer just to tell you what's on it. You can look at it for yourself and risk getting a virus on your computer for yourself. I don't want to do that. So if you're like the creator of this website and have a weird fascination with dirty Japanese train station toilets, well, this website is a perfect match for you. This website has been abandoned, as you can see clearly in the screenshot, since July 14th, 1997. Number 6. Daniela's Classic Salad Dressing. This website is basically what you think it is. A tutorial on how to make salad dressing, the way good old Daniela makes it. Who is Daniela, you may ask? Well, at the very bottom of the website, the website's homepage, it says, Daniela co-owns and runs Pearlie's restaurant in downtown Richmond, Virginia. And I was very curious, does this restaurant still exist? So I did some extensive research only to find out, yeah, it closed down back in September of 2013. And yes, I did make extra sure that this was the same restaurant that Daniela mentioned in her website. It was in the same area, and also Daniela provided her last name in this website. Her last name is Wyatt, and the article I read provided a statement from someone named Gray Wyatt, who is the owner of this restaurant. Here's what they had to say about their restaurant closing down. As you no doubt have heard, I've had to close Pearlie's. The simple fact is that expenses have exceeded revenue to the point I can't continue. I have been fortunate to enjoy 29 years of meeting and feeding all you wonderful folks. I know I am disappointing a lot of people, but frankly my options have been exhausted, and I am too. I apologize to my staff and others whose lives I have upset by allowing this to happen. The future does not look bright, but never say never. If I can somehow turn this around, I will. Thank you for all your support through the years. And to my knowledge, yeah, nothing has ever turned around for this restaurant. So yeah, oof. But at least Daniela's website can serve as a remembrance for those who loved eating at this restaurant. Her website has been abandoned since June 6, 1999. Number 5. Multiple insertions. Yes, I know how wrong that sounds, but that's legit the name of this website. But this website is without a doubt one of the most confusing websites I have ever been on. Like, legit, I've had a lot of trouble trying to navigate this website. I don't even really fully understand what this website is even about. So I'm just going to go by the description provided on the website I found this on. This confusing site seems to be some media/CD-ROM project. And that's really all I have to say about it, because I tried navigating through this website trying to see what it's all about, and I have no clue what I'm doing on this website. Maybe I'm just stupid, or maybe this website just has a 5,000 IQ, or maybe, and this is more likely, the people who made this website don't know how to make a fucking easy to navigate website. Jesus Christ. But my bullying of this website aside, this website has been abandoned since October 1999. Number 4. People eating tasty animals. I assume this site is some kind of answer to PETA, because PETA is mentioned frequently on this website, and as the title of this website suggests, yes, this is a very pro-meat eater website. And it seems like back in the day, this website was pretty controversial. On the homepage, one of the first things you see is, in bold letters, this site is not a front for the meat industry. And basically, apparently, some vegetarian article said that this website was supposedly a front for the meat industry and called this website out. And basically, this website seemed to have stirred some controversy back in its day. And it even has a dedicated section to hate mail that the guy who made this website receives. Pretty funny stuff, honestly. Seems like even back then the internet liked taking shots at PETA and vegetarians and vegans. How times have not changed. This website has been abandoned since June 9th, 1996. Number 3, the 60's Project. This website seems to be created by a bunch of humanities scholars in Virginia who were studying the 60's. Basically, 60's politics, activism in the 60's, like the civil rights movement, the cultural impact of the 60's in general, all of that regarding the 60's. And they basically made this website in hopes that other scholars or people who are just very informed about the 60's in general, or maybe others, or maybe actual activists in the 60's, people who actually know their stuff regarding the 60's and the culture surrounding the 60's and how life was back then. Basically, those kind of people, they made this website in hopes that people like that would take notice and actually give them more information. Basically, make sure they get all of their information correct regarding the 60's. To put all of this information regarding the 60's out there because they were doing this intensive study on the 60's. Because obviously they want their information to be as accurate as possible. I just wonder whatever happened to this project because this website has been abandoned since January 28th, 1999. Well, this one is just comedic. Number 2, Windows 95 operating system updates. This website is basically exactly what you think it is. It gives it gives you information regarding the latest Windows 95 updates. Is your Windows 95 operating system up to date? I don't know. Let me check. I gotta look at this website and see if I got the latest Windows 95 update. I really, really need that update. It should really, really improve my experience. Again, this is just really funny that this actually still exists. It's just frozen in time, giving you the latest information regarding Windows 95 updates at the time. Oh boy. This website has been abandoned since 1998. Number 1, Our Pets and Animals. I don't really have much to say about this website outside of, oh, look at all the dogs on the screen. There's also a bunch of GIFs of animals on this website too. I mean, I know a lot of the links on this website is broken now, but still, any website that wants to shove a bunch of pictures and GIFs of cute animals in your face is number 1 in my book. This website has unfortunately been abandoned since 1998. And since I usually have these little bonus things at the end of these videos, here is a bonus in this video. You've Got Mail. This was a pretty famous abandoned website. I saw this in a lot of abandoned websites lists, along with other big abandoned websites like the Dole Kemp website or the Space Jam website. I've seen this one too in a lot of lists, and unfortunately this website has been updated. This used to have a total late 90's look, and it was pretty appropriate too, since it was a 90's movie, apparently about a couple that meets each other online. I don't know, I can't really say much about the movie aside from it stars Tom Hanks. That's all I really know about it, and it's about some online couple or whatever the fuck. I've never seen the movie, so I can't comment on it, but why update the site? Why? It was so perfect. It was about late 90's internet, and it was so appropriate that the website for this movie was stuck in the late 90's. But no, Warner Brothers decided to update this website. Fuck you. And that concludes the second part of abandoned websites from the 90's that are still fully functional and you could still visit them at your own leisure. It was kind of hard compiling 10 websites for this video. 10 abandoned 90's websites, I should say. I found a bunch of early 2000s websites that have been, well, abandoned since the early 2000s, so I really have no problem making that video. And I'll probably make that video in the coming months. I don't know, we'll see. But, anyways, I also noticed, thanks to people commenting on my first abandoned 90's websites video, that a lot of the websites that I showed off in that video are now dead. They've since been taken down, or in some cases, some other websites, not just the You've Got Mail websites, have actually miraculously been updated to look like a 2019 website after like 20 plus years of being completely untouched. I find that really, really odd, but some websites have actually since been updated, and that's kind of depressing that more and more of these websites are going away or have been since updated, because websites like this are starting to become harder and harder to come by, and it truly does represent the end of an era. Even though I wasn't alive to experience all of these websites in their heyday, sure, but still, I'm sure it's saddening to a lot of these people who were regular internet users around this time. And it's saddening to me because I like looking at these old websites that have been untouched for 20 plus years. It's fascinating to me, and it saddens me that, again, more and more of these websites are now being taken down or have been updated after 20 plus years of being completely untouched. But, anyways, I'm going to make my 2000s website video soon, hopefully. And also, yeah, I have a little message to Watch Mojo. I know you stole my idea. You definitely stole my idea. I am definitely going to sue you for all you're worth. Fucking thieves stealing my ideas. And remember, everyone watching this video, I'm the OG. I was doing these abandoned websites videos before anyone else did these. Remember that. Joking aside, that's all the abandoned websites I had to show off for now. Bye bye.